about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a discount? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That was the great sounds of Watts with Outside on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, with my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ Blues is in the building. Easy Blues, you are better with introductions more than me. Who do we have with us today on Behind the Brand?
You know, there was an amazing philosopher named Jim Henson who once said, dance your cares away. Working is for another day. Let the music play down at Fraggle Rock. Now, we were all sat and had that sit in our existence when we were younger. Moving forward, life starts to bang things on top of you. They put the pressures of having to work that job. You have those initial aspects of being told who you are is incorrect, and that is painful. But we fold it inside until we can get to that one moment. Those moments of pure celebration that are truly beautiful. Our next two guests provide that moment for a community that is so loving and accepting, and that has been so marginalized and at some point disliked and hated for no apparent reason other than fear. And for that, it is an honor and a privilege. I want everyone to put their hands together, not if you're driving. If you're driving, please keep your hands at 10 and 2. We do not want any accidents. But mentally, put your hands together for the amazing Chris Gallo and Sabrina Alakhan. They are amazing DJs and party promoters. And this floor is yours, guys. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for everything you bring to the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a great introduction.
Thank you. Thank you. We
well
appreciate
done.
that. We appreciate that.
10 of 10.
Yes. Awesome.
He tries.
Now, I do. Now, to let everybody know a little bit, what brought you guys to wanting to be DJs? Before we get into the meat and the potatoes of the events that you guys do, the basic aspect of it was like, hey, let me, invest in a whole bunch of equipment that I can't afford and, play for people who aren't necessarily going to appreciate it.
Sabrina, you've been around a little bit longer. I'm going to let you handle that one.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's always going to be the love of music. For me, it was just going out and actually seeing DJs play. And it wasn't until I saw a female DJ out there like kicking butt and just keeping up with all the guys that I was like, you know what, I could probably do this. So the next day I went out and bought a couple turntables, some records. You're listening to whatever I'm playing.
Well, I love that you actually mentioned that it was the first time you saw another female DJ go out there and slay.
Come on, this is bad.
Love that you, in particular, Sabrina, really do take that to that level. Like, I know that there are DJs that have started out because of you as well. What does it feel like to kind of give back to that whole big circle of fifths?
I mean, it just makes you feel like you're doing something right, like if like your music or, you get to spend one night just making somebody's day and that influences them to pursue music as well. I feel like that's awesome because I don't like to gatekeep it. I'm always willing to introduce everybody to something new. If they need help or anything, I'm always there to hand out, because it's like the better you get is like, it's like I feel better as well, because I'm like, if I could inspire that, then awesome. Let's continue this and let's just both keep bettering ourselves,
That's awesome. And thank you for that, because, we've started to see it more and more today with just how the world is up in arms as possible. But gatekeeping is it's one of the most toxic traits we have as a society. And I love that there are people that are out there fighting against that. And I love that people live by that philosophy is I don't gatekeep. If you want to be part of this, the door is open, come and have a conversation. Chris, did you find a lot of gatekeeping as well when you broke in?
So my story is I came on about 5 years ago. My first club down in New Haven. I just started out, just wanted to have a little bit of a hobby, find out people really enjoyed the music that I played. So, I mean, with that said is, I encourage everybody to have a good time. There's a place for you. There's a place for me. There's just a place for everybody. Enjoy it, be themselves, have fun. People do come forward. I've worked with a few different people now. My old roommate, she started out. We just go to have fun. We really just go to have fun. Everybody just do your thing, enjoy, and just be original. Just be original. That's the one thing that's going to set us apart. You have your thing, I have mine, and there's room for all of us. So
cool.
I don't know if that answers your question there.
That was that slam dunk, home run.
Right. Spot on. It was blunt to the point.
A soccer goal, whatever they say that for, But what's amazing is also, the parties that I've been witness to, and I've been honored and blessed to sit in those spaces is, more for celebrating the LGBTQ plus community. But I have to say, as someone who's not part of that community, it's the most accepting and welcome. I never truly understood other people's fears, because anytime I've ever been around, it's just an unconditional love. How hard is it to maintain that unconditional love when you're faced on an everyday basis with conditional hate?
I'll answer and I'll take that one for now. It's you get one time at this. You get one time, right? And you come to a point in your life. I was 20 years old and I was, questioning. And actually, the club was a place for me to be myself, right? So I go walk in the club and I'm like, wow, here are these people just enjoying themselves. Here are these people that are just like me, just, because we're a little bit behind the times. And meaning we don't get to develop some of our things because we're not ourselves until we get to accept it. So then here I was, walked in the club, I'm like, wow, look at these people enjoying them. They're all themselves. And that to me was just an amazing feeling. And you just keep going. And people now, it's become a lot more accepted and we're well integrated, and we actually have a dying space for gay clubs necessarily, or gay parties compared to a few years ago, 10, 20 years ago.
Mm.
But when we can get together and we can still be ourselves and bring in whoever wants to come, hey, let's go. Let's enjoy life. This is our chance. Get on the bicycle with us because, hey, we are heading for a good time. Let me tell you.
It's a very good time. Many people smiling. Lots of sweating, which leads us to the name of the party that you throw at the State House, plug State House here. Really is incredible. What made you guys call it Sweat?
Sabrina, you want to take that one?
Well, because when you're dancing your butt off, what happens? You're sweating, right? So we want we want to let you know that if you're coming to our party, expect to dance, expect to sweat, because we're going to make you move, and just have a good time. You're always sweating especially when you're having a good time.
Very
correct.
true.
I would say the idea for Sweat started 15 years ago, Sabrina.
Yeah.
So she was going to be the DJ. I didn't know how to DJ at that time. I was going to be the fierce door person.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to be the New York City idea of a door person, right? They have their own. And, that we tossed around some ideas of some clubs and it just never worked out. And then I started DJing and Sabrina's like, I think it's time. Yep. So she looked around and found State House, another plug. There you are, State House, and it just was a perfect space for us. It encompasses everything, the feel, the vibes that we were going for. And of course with Sweat, perspiration is always welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
and happens often. There's many a times, I remember the one you guys did in January, and to see these people rush outside in the cold just to feel a couple of seconds of just cool, calm, and collected so they can get that energy boost back up and shoot right back onto the dance floor. Really was just amazing to see, when you have this beautiful celebration. And that's really I love how you said, the first time you went to the club, you saw people just being themselves and it was okay to be yourselves. And I think that is something that, although we have gotten better as a society, I do feel we are getting more and more lost as individuals in the trueness of being oneself, whether that being, straight beard and weirded like me, or, any other type of avenue and aspect. As you guys are continuing to grow and continuing to move forward, what makes you guys hold on to those purest of principles of loving the music and being yourself? Because money talks.
I mean, for me, it's all about the music. It's our way of, bringing everybody together and expressing ourselves, and just, growing up, always going clubbing in the city, you feel a sense of community, like you're amongst your people, and you get the chance to let everything go from the week, all the stresses or everything that you have in your head. You just let it go for those couple of hours where you go and dance it all off. So to me, it's very important to keep that vibe still going, and always the importance of the music.
Yeah, I would say definitely, we have our ups and downs. We have our times where we're, we look at our ticket sales, let's say, and we're a little bit nervous, let's say. And then, if one person came or 1,000 people came, if we can make one person feel like they're just in their own world, just living their life and have no recognition of society in those doors, and just on a dance floor and enjoying life, you just can't beat it. You always see people, or when you see two people out there and they got that glimmer in their eye and they're looking at each other and they fall in love just for that 1 second that you've created with the music, the sound, the vibration, the lights. There's no better feeling than watching it.
I want to make that like a sound clip and like sell that on TikTok. That was beautiful.
It really is. It's a moment when you can make a whole room become one and believe one thing at that moment just by sound. It's an incredible feeling, and it's a privilege to do. It is a privilege to do.
That's awesome, and it's a privilege to watch too. And at some points even participate as you're going through the dance floor trying to bring ice from point A to point B. There's this certain. You create such a beautiful vibe, and I'm a big fan of giving flowers now. And when we're doing in the work aspect, I can't necessarily do that. But really, I hope you guys understand what you are giving to the city of New Haven is so important, because it is that freedom, and that freedom is so few and far between. Because no matter what, we're told where we have to be, when we have to be there, how many hours we have to work. Our bills are constantly telling us how hard we have to work, or that we're not working hard enough. And the fact that whether you like dance music or you just need to see joy at its purest form, you guys provide that. And I hope you know that, and it's not just me telling you this. Hope everyone's telling you this. But if it's just me, then listen to it back over and over again, and then we can just make it like your daily affirmation.
Well, I mean, that's amazing to hear, because it is something that, we totally inspired to do every single time we throw a party. It's more about everybody having a good time. At the end of the day, we just want to be somewhere where you go and just have a good time and be yourself, and just love each other and just have a great time.
I would say the last party we brought one of our, it's called Diva Miss Longo. She was a New Haven icon for drag queen. And she brought the house down, and she really was really an icon to us in New Haven. And what she brought last time, the love and the memories for people. We had a lot of people come out that haven't been out in a long time because they don't feel that they fit in, let's say, with the younger crowd or a college crowd that goes out. And we made this atmosphere. People messaged me, they were like, it was like reliving my childhood, reliving a memory. The sound, even the smell in the room, people said, was just something that just brought back so many memories. And there's one thing that I like about house music is you can have one song and you can have 7 different mixes of it and 7 different feelings of how it is. So it's when you pick that song at that particular time, that particular mix, that you can change a whole night. And that's what I love about house music for me personally.
How hard is it to just come up with these mixes? Because every crowd's different, everybody has different tones. Like, yeah, it can be, it's a science. It really is. You know, there's a lot to come with what you guys do.
For me, it's lots of hours picking the
imagine.
music. And it's like, it's crazy because it's like, I'll get 20 new songs, and then I'll still play all the old stuff and not even touch the 20 new songs that I just spent all these hours looking for. So to me, but it's also what gets me moving. That, you know, the second that I play it, if it gets me, if I'm making my stank face, then that's a track that I need.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of hours of picking around. You know, you've got different websites, you've got, you know, from YouTube to wherever. You know, you're sifting through, you got your headphones on, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, you download, you know, you go on different websites, you buy them, you go in pools of music. You download and you've got about 300, you're like, yes, you pick about two. Two that make you give you that face. And you can't wait. They're like a little press. You can't wait to watch other people's faces and, you know, just have them perk up and watch that. So definitely a lot of time spent picking through. We both have a particular sound, I think, that, you know, that you come to grow. You know, I'm not an EDM sound. You know, I tell you, gay house music definitely is his own vibe. It's got a little bit more shake than others, definitely. So those are hard to find nowadays. But
it's a no days off kind of thing.
Never.
I understand.
Going through old hard drives that are about to fail, you're picking through like, I remember what it sounds like, and you got to find it. Or you get two words stuck in your head, and you're like, I know what that song is, and literally it's 4 hours later, and you finally find it. It's a good.
But now that light bulb above your head.
Yep. I got you. Now that you said that, and you know you have those two gems, right? And how do you deal with it when it doesn't land the way you wanted it to land, or how you thought it was going to land?
Next, basically for me,
Okay.
like it breaks my heart because I'm like looking all forward to playing this track, everyone, and if it doesn't hit, I'm just like, all right, well, let's see if the next one's gonna hit, and you just got to keep it going.
Correct. And I would say, I would question myself, did I play it at the right time? I would say that, or is it the people? Is it the people? You know, I can play the same song in one club 1 week and it can kill, it can go over, people can be jumping off the walls. Next week I play it and it's a dud. And you wonder, most of the time it's our time. It definitely is.
Right. And it is our time on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, always dancing, Elm City made. EZ BlueZ is in the building. Go ahead, EZ.
Well, it's so important, you know, to understand that, like, when you're planning out these sets and stuff like that, to have those pitfalls and to have those moments. And I love how you fully understand. It could just be the crowd, or it could be the placement in which it landed. You know, now do you then take that and try it in another spot for the next set, or do you like walk away from it for like 2 or 3 gigs and then like, okay, now's the proper time for this song to shoot out there?
Sabrina?
I think for me, it depends how much I really like the song. Like if I'm like totally in love with it, I'm going to go for it my next gig and just see and work on the timing. But you know, it also is like the crowd. If there's sometimes you could be playing the best tracks and they don't want to dance. So it's like you just gotta see what works and just try to, you know, I would go for it for the next gig, definitely.
Right, Def.
And we understand that there's got to be a time for them to go to the bathroom. We understand that there's a time for them to go buy a drink, and there's a time for them to step outside. So we know when you gotta cool it down a little bit, take a step back, you know, play a song that they may not recognize. Then you might go back. You know, you're looking at vocal songs, you're looking at, you know, classics, dub mixes which have no words, you know, and you got to know when to throw them. So of course we do have to understand that the whole time cannot be full force, 110%, let's go for the gusto right away. You got to know when to time it. It's a journey. And one of my things is you get there early and stay late, and you never know where we're going to go with it.
Mm.
That's a great saying. And I love now, how is it when planning a set, do you bat the ego? Where this is the mix that I like. This is what I like, but then you have to start to consider there are other listeners that don't necessarily have your perspective. So how do you fight that balance?
I think for me, I will throw in a remix of something that they'll recognize, but it's got to be a remix of something that would get me on the dance floor. That if I heard, I'm like, okay, I'm dancing to this, regardless that I just heard it on the radio. Getting here, we understand a lot of people that come to our parties sometimes don't really get the music, but they're there for the good time. So if I play something that they recognize, they start singing along, they start getting into it, and then it just becomes like, then they start just going with the flow, and after that they kind of accept what you start throwing at them, and it's like you start putting in their listening ears, with just something that they recognize.
And one of the things is people would like to request songs or things like that. We're really not request DJs. Everybody's got a favorite song in the building, right? And if we're over here chasing everybody's favorite song, I don't think we're not gonna bring that journey, right? You came here to see me work. You don't go into a surgery and then say to the guy, oh, use this scalpel. So right. You tend to take things with a grain of salt when people come up to me, because I'm providing. You don't go to Aerosmith concert and expect your country music, right? So let me do what I'm trained to do and just sit back, enjoy your time again, get lost on the dance floor and just enjoy.
I love that for you. And I love that you said it, like, because so many other people, we've gotten into that Burger King society that everyone really thinks they can have it their way. And no, you can't. That's not reality. I remember like getting involved in the music industry at a young age, and like all my friends were like, hey, let's all go out to the bar, this time. I'm like, no, I'm done. That's my job. I don't be like, hey buddy, can I come and hang out in your office for 8 hours? And just to hang out there. Like, there has to be that separation, and I love how passionate you guys are and how you understand that this is what you do. This is your job. Let me sit back and do my job. Now, as meticulous as you guys have become with creating the sets and creating the atmosphere, how important for the people that are just trying to start out in the promotion aspect, how important, or is it even more important to be that passionate about your promotion, your advertising?
Well, nowadays, I think it's so important. You have to be posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook, posting on TikTok, just to get a broader audience to find out who you are, find out when your party is. And I think you got to stay on top of it. Unfortunately, back in the day when I started, the promotions was done by the club, and you didn't have to worry about it. All I had to worry about was showing up and playing, and that was it. Now I'm promotions, I'm, DJ, a person with so many hats that you have to do just so that you can throw a decent. But I mean, between both of us, we work so well on, getting the word out. But yeah, socials now, super important.
Yeah, she made me get Instagram, and
Yep.
I didn't. I'm not, and I wasn't too fond of it. She kept going, you got to get it.
Yep.
So we did that. I mean, back in the day, we're from the generation of the New York City club kids. You came out of the party and they handed you flyers for next week and tonight. That's what you had. Right. You had no other way. You weren't even from that state, and you knew what was going on. So it's to get out there and be online. And then there's times where you see people faking it. Just be genuine in your promotion. Don't go out of your way to lead people in the wrong direction. We always try to put up a picture of our party, a previous party. This is what you see. These are the types of people that are going to be there. Just be genuine in your promotion as well.
Yeah, it's so true. And being genuine with promotion in anything you do and in the services you provide is by far some of the most important aspects you go through there. What I am starting to see from kind of like being in the industry is there's now almost a resurgence of the flyering. You know, some of the shows that have done the best at, once again, cheap plug for the State House, has been those acts that then will go out and hit the colleges and literally 2 o'clock in the morning back to stapling on those phone and lighting posts. There seems to be a need for the hybrid now. I guess because of the pandemic where we became so focused on the digital, it's nice now to hold that flyer. You know, I remember the times where it was annoying as hell. Like to walk from the door to your mode of transportation, you had 97 flyers, and now your pants are getting weighed down because of all the people that are out there. And then you get to your car and your windshield's completely covered, and you don't know that one piece of paper that you threw out was the ticket, and now they're going to impound your car next week. They know everyone knows what I'm talking about. We've all been there.
We've all made that. We've all made that walk to the West Side Highway just to get the car.
But you know, are you guys starting to manage the two, where you're dealing with the social, but you're also dealing with the physical?
Yes, yeah. I believe I'm better online, and Chris is better running around and getting it done.
Correct. You know, we got places in New Haven. You know, you just walk in and you put it up. You put a few flyers up. They don't ask questions, which is great. You know, they're there to support the community. I've gone around to local colleges. They've got some boards. Let's put it up. Let's put that up there with the, you know, QR code. I had to learn what that was. So I had to learn what that was. But it's interesting to see the numbers go up. There you go. You can see on our on our ticket page, the day that we went up, that number went up drastically. It's incredible to see. And again, it's the hard flyers. And I remember the first party, sorry, New Haven, we went down to every tree and we stapled something on there. But, you know, we saw it. We definitely saw the first party brought in people that we don't know. And how did we get to those people? How did we meet those people? People are coming from Rhode Island, you know, Massachusetts, New York, even to New Haven, Connecticut for that first party. You know, and how did we break that barrier? And the internet's a powerful thing. But again, the walking around and getting to know people and them seeing a face of who was doing it went a long way too. Oh, hey, they felt comfortable to walk up to me and said, hey, you give me this flyer. You know, thanks for inviting me. That goes a long way.
And that's actually something that I definitely want to give you flowers for as well. I remember that first party in particular, the first gaggle of people, and that is a unit of measure. So the first gaggle of people that came through, you literally asked them, how did you find out about this? You know, or if someone actually ran up to you and gave you a hug, like, I'm so glad that this is happening. Since you gave me that flyer, you know, I've been looking forward to this, and I just totally needed this right now. So you are definitely there for it. And I have to say that walk around as the person in charge when you walk through those doors. This is what it is. This is a timestamp. This is where it has to happen. And this is what you need to continue to move forward. Is that something that you have taken from like the upbringing aspect, or what you have learned from the New York City club culture that you grew up in?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, my parents always taught me, you know, be a respectful person and, you know, just living your truth, be an honest person. So when I actually see somebody and I'm excited to see them, yeah, it's a genuine thing. And people read that. Again, it's not just, you know, I'm inviting you to my party. I want you to join. I want you to join because I want you there. And not for, you know, any financial gain or anything like that. I want you to have a good time. You know, I that's pretty much what it is. I mean, again, my parents are from New Haven, born and raised in New Haven, moved out to New York. For about 5 or 6 years, I was there, had the time of my life, decided to come back, and people still knew me. And then I started DJing and brought that feel to myself, to New Haven. And they were thankful for it. People are very thankful. They said, thank you for providing this, providing these events. And they use the word events. Rather than just a night out, they use the word events, which means a lot to us because we're having an event. We're having an over-the-top event, that's for sure.
Right.
Well, and that's actually one of the most important things right now for any type of live promotion. we've spoken about it with a couple of producers that have been on air and stuff. The day of the show is gone. No one really goes out to a show, especially a local show anymore. You need to have an event. You need to give the people something that they didn't have before. And sometimes you need to give them something they didn't know they needed. And you guys definitely do that. And it seems oh so natural. And I'm really trying to figure out your chemical equation on how you make this work. But it really just does seem to be the genuine article. What is it like to be a genuine article in a world that is so fraudulent?
I don't know. For us, it's just to me, I really can't put it into words because it's like it's the vibe that we grew up going out to the city and chasing. So for us to bring that little piece in, and also, we are in New Haven, which is a big, huge college town that has kids from all over the world.
Yeah.
House music may not be big in Connecticut. I mean, there are a few house music events that happen that, I give many flowers to, but it's like New Haven has just a few, but we reach the college students that, moved here from New York that say, thank you. This reminds me of something from Brooklyn that I go to, that something that, I can't find, and thank you for having it. And I think another thing for our equation is that it's not something that you can go to weekly or monthly. We do it seasonally so that we keep some of that magic. So it keeps you waiting and anticipating and wanting to come out to our next event.
Yeah, definitely. We take everything, the feels that we had growing up and going to New York and seeing some of our favorite DJs, we came from all across the world. And we just, that feeling that we had, and we take it on a smaller scale and we drop it there in New Haven. And again, there's people that came the first party and walked out. Hey, it's not for you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for trying. But it's those, we got to stick to what we know and stick to what we're doing. And this is our passion. And you are going to have a good time. You're going to walk in, just leave everything at that door. Once again, I go back to leave everything at the door, come and just experience it. Just be in the middle of the dance floor, listen to these songs that you never heard of, that you don't know, but your feet move. It's a natural reaction in your body when something is good for your body to be stimulated. And that for us is sweating and your feet moving.
Well, we've talked about the past, we've talked about the present. Now let's talk about the future. On October 29th, you guys are throwing another amazing sweat event at the State House. You talked about what you have brought before. What are you bringing? What is the event, other than the fact it's Halloween? What is the event that is truly Sweat October 29?
Well, I mean, Halloween is the queerest holiday of the year. So that to us is huge. But Chris, what do you think we're bringing?
Well, let's see. We have these parties and we do well, and we reinvest something into it. We reinvest, things that of course, last time we brought extra lighting there, and obviously Halloween, and we're gonna make up a little our little gay haunted house, I guess you would say. So we're gonna have that, and we're gonna have new people try, and we're gonna have old friends, new friends, and we're gonna build on that base. Our core thing that we're gonna be is you've come for quality, right? You've come to hear quality music, a great venue, quality people that work there. You guys have been great to us. I mean, fantastic, Carlos. You guys have all been fantastic to us, and we just, we're gonna step it up. Of course, there are little secrets. Of course, you got to come down and see us, and again, you're gonna say, "Wow, this is something that I haven't had in a few years." You can go to a normal club, and you can go in a Halloween contest, and you can go for that. We want people to look fierce and hit that dance floor. I think that
Nice.
But again, those are our secrets. Some of the top things there. You never know what we got up our sleeve.
Well, and that's incredible, and I love, because the unknown is by far one of the easiest selling points in the world. Well, what are we going to bring? Come down and see, and they can see that, on Saturday, October 29th at the State House. What time are we opening up doors that day?
9 o'clock.
9 p.m. Be there, be fierce, be dressed to slay, and make sure you at least pack the comfortable shoes. You don't have to walk in with the comfortable shoes. You put the comfortable shoes in the bag, and then you change over to the comfortable shoes about halfway through. Because fashion is amazing, but being able to walk the next day is more important. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
However, if you can do it in pumps for a butch queen up in pumps for about 5 hours, we're on board with it.
That's awesome.
It's it's a song there. It's called "Walk for Me," and
okay.
Butch queen up in pumps. Okay?
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, and that's really the most incredible aspect of it. And I love kind of how we've come back around to it. No matter how much we talk about the promotion, or no matter how much we talk about the pops and the whistles and things that bling in the night, it comes back down to the music. You know, it comes back down to the feeling that music gives you. That feeling of security, that feeling to know that other people can relate to what you're going through. You know, you capture these moments. As you continue to design these moments for the generations to come, you know, do you think this is something that you're going to get passed down? Like, will there be like a generation 2.0 Sweat? Is this something that, you know, you want their legacy to go beyond your mortal coil?
Sabrina?
Good question. I mean, we're writing this until we can write it no more. I mean, certain things run their time, and we'll just see how this goes. We're loving what we're doing right now. We're loving the reaction from everyone. So right now, it's something that we enjoy doing. But once there isn't joy in it, maybe it's time. You know, maybe it's time to either put it away, or if there is a younger generation that says, you know what, let me take it and fly with it, so be it. Like I said, you know, I never want to tear anybody down for ambition, so go for it, you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say that, you know, we'll again write it out and not being afraid to walk away at its peak. You know, there could be something else bigger and better that we have in our head, you know, and this idea of Sweat, you know, we'll like Sabrina said, we'll live it out till it needs to be. But as long as people are messaging us the days after and saying, man, I had a great time, man, that was special, I appreciate what you're doing, I know it's not easy, I appreciate you taking the time. Or, you know, just those simple smiles that you see when they're leaving. Last time we gave out some fans, we saw glow sticks leaving, and people leaving, meeting up, just leaving that club with a smile on their face. That goes a long way. But Sweat is our idea. Sweat is our feeling. And I would say that, you know, can somebody else do it? Maybe somebody could do it bigger and better, but we kind of got some gems right here. And that's a good partner that I have, let me tell you. We mesh very well.
Ditto.
Oh, that's amazing to hear on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ BlueZ is in the building. I got a question for both of you. Since we're talking about appreciation, for prospective DJs out there, how do you price your skill level?
Ooh, that is a tough one. I'll start off. So DJing has become very easy, I guess you would say, technical wise. I don't know if you're behind me, I have some turntables, I have CDJs behind me. You can do it with a computer. I've seen DJs not even do it with turntables, with just a computer. Ooh. That hurts my heart a little bit.
You answered my next question right then and there, so keep going.
So it's tough. It's you. Yeah. You know, if you want to say that you charge too much, people are going to say, I can get it done for cheaper, right?
Right.
And that's hurtful. But again, if you experience what we do, you know, we're well worth the money. And, you know, we've done charity events. We've done things for free, again, because it's about the passion.
Of course.
But I would definitely say that it's becoming harder because so many people, number one, it's looked upon. People love, you know, it's kind of a trend right now. People love the DJ. The DJ goes up on stage and, in front of thousands of people and the lights on them and they love to be the superstar. We're actually a little bit of the opposite. We like to be in the dark, in the corner, and just pumping the beats to, just in the dark. That's what we like to do.
Right.
So I would say, again, it's a tough thing because so many people want to do it and will do it for cheaper, but cheaper is not always more quality,
It's true. That's true.
So I think that was how I would say it.
Do you think?
For me,
Oh, go ahead, Sabine. I'm sorry.
Sorry, for me, I think
No,
it's like when you're starting DJing, you're gonna take any gig, because you want to get out there and get the experience.
Yeah.
And I think at a certain point in time, you start realizing, okay, I know what I'm doing. I can go from $50 to 75, from 75 to 100. But you gotta also know your self-worth and sell yourself, and don't sell yourself less, because yes, like Chris said, there's a lot of people that'll, you get your paid, your 250, your 500. People are out there saying, well, I'll do it for 100. And it doesn't always mean that it's going to be better, but always know your self-worth.
Absolutely.
Oh, and that's the key. And what people really need to understand, and I'm talking to the people now paying. The people that are paying, they really need to understand it's not a matter of the 3 or 4 hours you're spending at the club. Like we have definitely stated in this interview earlier on, 4 or 5 hours to find that one song that you're adding in there. Years of making sure you're proficient at that turntable. And yes, I've seen people DJ with the iPhone and different things like that, but I've also seen them spend 10 hours on their computer blending that set list together so they could put in their iPhone and then go about it, so they just plug it in and dance around and have a good time. And again, I pour no salt in anyone's hustle. You make music the way you want to make music. You perform the way you want to perform. High five, you went out there and did something. But seriously, the people that are paying, it's not just a matter of, well, you only really did it for like an hour and a half, so I'm only going to give you like $25 and a high five. No, no, you're not. And, I just sat through this incredible Culture Con, and Taraji P. Henson was talking about knowing your worth and understanding that sometimes you look that incredible opportunity in its face and you say, no, I'm not going to do that because I am worth more than you are willing to offer me for that. And if I sign on to it now at this low price, where am I going to grow from that? And I'm going to cripple myself to move forward. So it is really that tightrope walk. And I love that you guys have kind of each other to kind of grow with and continue to move forward with. Do you suggest a partnership when getting involved in this, like having a group of people to grow together with? Or are you guys like lone wolves and you just like, we're going to take it all down ourselves?
I would say I do play at the club often, and I'm paid to do a job there, and then we have the sweat party, which is my event. Definitely, and it's a tough thing because again, when I'm playing at the club, I have to make sure that I keep people happy that that I'm being paid to do a job. That's number one, and then we have sweat on the other hand, which is just our baby. So it's definitely tough because you definitely have to have two different mindsets. What I would say is practice, make sure that you give yourself 100%, find something that's unique to yourself, and it will definitely show in the work. You have people come in and they hand you CDs, or they say, hey, I want to send you a set. And necessarily I have no say, at the regular club. I got to say, if you can come come here. I've had people actually from a friend from Greece say, hey, I saw pictures of your party. I want to come play. I want to fly across. I'll pay my way. I'm like, wow. Like he's like, your people look like they're having such a great time. And, going back to the question is, know what you are, find what makes you unique, and the money will come, I guess you could say.
For me, I think individually, it's easy. It's kind of easier to determine where you're going to go and how you're going to get things done. But I think with a partnership, it's also good because we have each other's back. We both have the same passion for what we're doing.
Mhm.
So if you feel you have like-minded people that would have your back, because that's hard to find, especially nowadays. Somebody that's there that's gonna have your back and look out for you just as you want them to look out for you. I mean, for them. Go for it. I mean, the more the merrier, but always look out for yourself first before you decide to put yourself in that position.
How would you go about starting in DJ if you had to start over, in terms of money, gear, style, and just any other basic stuff you can think of? If you had that DeLorean and you went back in time, what would you do for the both of you guys?
I think I would do it the same way that I did. I learned on
Awesome.
turntables. So for me, it's like once you learn on a turntable, you could play anything that's put in front of you. So to me, I would have stuck with learning with the turntables, having that passion for the music, knowing your music. I
Right.
don't think that's stressed upon to a lot of people, is know the track, understand the track that you're about to throw down, because if you don't know it, you don't know how to play it properly, and it loses its magic. Just learn your music, practice, and then just play what you love, because if you play with what you love with a passion, people dig that. They dig it, and they're all about it. So just know your music and just practice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would say that I probably would have spent less money on some of the equipment that I did. Because really you're learning the skill set,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And I started on like a $250 all-in-one mixer with
Wow.
an iPod. You can put your iPod Classic on
Oh,
to
wow.
record your
Classic.
set.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow,
I still
yeah.
have it.
Okay.
It was 120
Cool.
gigabyte hard iPod Classic. So you could hook it up to this and you could record, right? So I would
Awesome.
sit in my room 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I was terrible. Let me tell you, I couldn't count a beat to save my life. I had
At
no
least you
idea.
own up to it,
Yeah. And then I remember I was walking home one day and there was a store.
Yeah.
It's when I lived in New Jersey, and there was a store and it had flashing lights, and they had these nice $900 CDJs. And I'm like, man, I want those. I went and I put them on layaway at the store. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I bought them. It took me a while to pay it off. I bought them. I had to get a new mixer, and here I went from the $250 mixer to like almost $1,600. And this was early 2000s, and I was still terrible. I was still terrible. Yeah, the more expensive stuff. So again, just buy the cheap stuff, master what you got, and then you can work your way up. But buying the most expensive thing doesn't mean quality.
Well, I love that, because if anyone has ever seen the movie Pick of Destiny, Tenacious D have that moment. They're trying to write the perfect song so they can pay their rent, and instead of practicing and writing a good song, they run out to Guitar Center to find that perfect pick so that they could play. That pick is good. What's going to make them write well? When it's really the practice.
Yeah.
When it's really all those hours that you don't want to admit to of just sitting there and being horrible. Like you have to be bad at something before you can be good at it. I had an uncle, being really young. He had a boat, and he tried to teach me like how to drive his boat. And he's like, I was very nervous and shook a little bit and started to waver a little bit. And he's like, perfect. I'm gonna continue to show you how to do this boat now. I was like, why? I did a bad job. He's like, yeah, but if you would have knocked it out of the park the first time, you would have crashed my boat the second time, because you would have got overconfident. And that is kind of that principle that I've brought into every aspect of my life. And I love how that's kind of where you guys are sitting, and it being about the traditional aspect. It's the music, it's practicing, it's, you don't need the $700 pair of Jordans to slam dunk the ball. You need to go out there and run and condition yourself and, train with weights on your ankles and get better. And that's what's going to get you to slam dunk. So thank you for that.
While we're out here on the airwaves, then I'll make a formal apology to my roommate at the time, Jen. She would come in the room and she'd be like, Chris, enough, please. So Jen, I'm sorry for all those years of not being able to mix. She'd be like, I can't take it anymore. So I apologize. Just want to get that out there now that we're on.
And you want to know something? Jen, if you want to show up, I'm going to let you in the door on the 29th. 9 p.m. The doors open up at the State House for the sweat party, and see how amazing he has become. It has been a journey, and you were there at day one, so you should definitely be there on day October 29th, 2022.
Easy. We got some sad news, though. Unfortunately, we're almost coming to a close. So this is the time of the show where we give both of you just a little bit of time at the end of the broadcast, and you're just going to give people some perspective advice if they're interested in the similar journey you two shared of DJing, and we're thankful to learn your story. And also, please plug that event again in your own terms, and please plug out any social media you can give us out. So go right ahead, guys. This time is yours.
Chris, you want to take it away?
Sure, if you're like. So we have Sabrina, who's under the moniker Butch Queens Present. Correct? I got that right?
Correct.
Right, Sabrina?
Yes,
we
sir.
have a mixed cloud under that name. So you actually be able to go and see a light workout set, a light sweat set from her. And then we have a little bit of a peak hour Halloween set from myself on that's mixed cloud, Butch Queens Present. As well as myself, TCG1669 is my Instagram. You'll be able to see the flyers and where I play many places. Along with Sabrina, your Instagram there
is Butch Queens Presents.
Butch Queens Presents. Again, Sabrina Alarcon on Facebook. That's her personal one, or you can find her at Butch Queens Present as well. Along with me, Chris Gallo on Facebook. And the idea behind the sweat party, I think it's you want to come to a party, you want to enjoy yourself, you want to hear some great music. You're going to come in, you're going to just be yourself and let the music hit you and take you where you want to be. I think that's just the whole premise of the party. Whether you're into leather, whether you're into, voguing, whether you're into heavy techno, there's going to be something there for you to like. And
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Absolutely. So be there Saturday, October 29th. Doors open at 9 o'clock for sweat. And expect to leave very, very sweaty.
Definitely. And we take the time to appreciate you guys for letting us here.
Absolutely.
Along with the State House, again, you guys have been nothing but great to us. It's the home for the sweat party. It really is the home for the sweat party. And we're thankful to be there for you to allow everyone to just come as they are, and make sure that we're safe, that we're having a great time. And we really appreciate that. And it's something to do in New Haven. Really, New Haven's a great place. Growing up here, it's got a great vibe and a unity. New Haven has a unity, unlike many, many other places. We have something special.
Guys, just want to thank you so much for just being part of the program. We appreciate you guys on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ BlueZ is in the building. This has been Behind.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know.